What you guys, got another quick video here for you on a crypto ransomware called Zero Locker, and we're going to be taking a look at how we can defend ourselves against these types of infections with a program called AppGuard. It's not a free program, but we're going to take a look at it. So Zero Locker is basically a crypto ransomware that gets on your system, and it could be through email attachments and stuff like that, or drive-by websites where you go on them and something drops down, you click on it and then you get infected. All sorts of ways they get on your system, and once they get on there, they install themselves and encrypt all your data, whether it be on a map drive and stuff like that. You will have encrypted data, okay, and you will not be able to unencrypt it until you pay their ransom, and this is why they're making so much money on it. So basically, you normally pay in Bitcoin. You'll have a 72-hour ransom message, and it says if you do not pay this in 72 hours, it normally doubles the price. Okay, so this is what they're trying to do, give you an incentive to pay for them. Never pay for these types of ransomwares, okay, to get your data back. They're just cyber criminals, and they're not worth entertaining. Okay, I know you lose your data, but that's all the more reason to back up your data. Okay, so let's take a look at a Zero Locker and also AppGuard itself. Now, AppGuard is not a free program, but what it basically does is it will lock your system down and block it from installing, okay, and stop your data from getting encrypted. Now, we've just installed this on the system on a 10-day trial, and you can see here we've got AppGuard activity report. This will give you a full report of what's actually going on with your system and what it's trying to do. Okay, so you can see here this will tell me anything that's been trying to run or change, and it will be an event log that's created here. We have got a customization area here, and I've left this as default. I've not touched it, and you can see you've got some tabs here, which is your alerts, user space, guarded apps, and also publishers and advanced. Okay, we're not going to go into that in this video. We're just going to leave it as is. Okay, so here we have our program running on the system. You can see it running down in the bottom right hand corner here, and what we're going to do is try to run Zero Locker to see whether it infects the system and whether it changes all our data. So we've got some data on here, which is the normal standard zip files, PDF files, document files, which are Office documents, 7-zip, JPEGs, executables, movie files, PSD files, which are your Adobe Photoshop files, and stuff like that. Okay, now I've not installed all the programs on here, but these are the genuine programs, okay, documents that you can see. So we've also got the usual suspects inside here, which will be all your normal pictures, and this could be all your family holidays and stuff like that, but these will all get encrypted also. Okay, so let's click on the Zero Locker and see what happens. You can see here it is actually tried to block this program. You can see Windows cannot access this specific device path or file. You may not have appropriate permissions to access the item. Okay, now if I look down in the bottom right hand side, you can see it's tried to block it here. It's prevented the use of that, you can see, and that's an ideal blockage there. You can see it will light up down the bottom. So let me just open this up, and we'll go to activity and see whether it's listed it here. Okay, you can see up the top here it's blocked that file from running. Zero Locker, it's prevented that from running, okay, on that system. So what we can do here now is close this off, and you can see it's done its job. Now, what would happen if we didn't have something like AppGuard on the system? What I'm going to do is uninstall it and then show you what would happen if you didn't have this type of protection on your system. Okay, now this is not the only program out there that's going to protect you. It's just one program. Okay, there's tons of other programs out there that will block these types of infections. Okay, this is just one of them. So let me just go ahead and remove this, and then we'll infect it again and see what will happen. Okay, so we've removed AppGuard from the system, and now we're back at our desktop, and you can see everything is still okay. And what we're going to do now is try to infect our system with Zero Locker. Okay, so we'll click on the Zero Locker file, and we'll check out what's happening on our task manager here. You can see it running, and we'll see if it infects the system at all, whether it comes down. It may take a bit of time. You can see there's a bit of activity now on the CPU, It's starting to do its thing. Hopefully we'll get something happening on the system shortly. Okay, I think that has now dropped something on the system here. Now you can see there the file encryption is starting to run here. The file encryption utility is starting to run on the system. Okay, so we can open that in the location here, and you can see that is actually using the file encryption utility here. So we'll give it a bit more time to run. The zero locker still engaged here and still running, so we'll come back in a second. So let's quickly take a look inside our C drive here, and you can see there's a folder now that's been created here called Zero Locker. Some other stuff happening on the system. I'm just going to give it a bit more time to see what happens. Okay, let's just have a look inside our C drive here, and we'll look inside here and the user account. You can see this file starting to get encrypted here. Okay, so now the process is now been completed. The encryption has been happening on the system behind the scenes, and now we get our message, our ransom, which is basically saying important, please read. Unfortunately, the files on the computer, i.e. documents, photos and videos, have been encrypted using our extremely secure unbreakable algorithm. This means that the files are now useless unless you decrypt your files using this key here. Now what they're doing is giving you a key, right, but they're asking you to pay for it to get your data back, and they want you to pay in Bitcoin, and they don't want you to use anything but their method of payment. Okay, so it's non-traceable, I should imagine. And you can see here, by purchasing a license from us, we will be able to rescue your files 100% guaranteed. Okay, well, you wouldn't have had to get 100% guarantee if they didn't hold you to ransom in the first place and they weren't criminals. So you can see here that for the lowest early bird price of only $300 US, so what they're trying to do is make you pay $300 US to get your data back off of them, which wasn't encrypted in the first place. So they're basically holding you to ransom, and that's what they are. They're basically criminals. And you can see here, in 5 days time, however, the price of this service will increase to $600 US, and also after 10 days $1,000 US. So now they're really holding it a ransom there. And you can see the payment is only accepted in Bitcoin only, because it's probably less traceable. And you can see here what they'll do is, once they get their payment, they will release your files. They will decrypt them for you, and this could take up to 15 minutes, up to 2 hours, depending on how many files have been need to be decrypted. Okay, all I'm going to say to you is, never ever try to pay these people. Just leave them alone. I mean, there's a couple of things you can do to protect yourself, like I showed you in this video. You can use programs to protect yourself, like Crypto Prevent, AppGuard, and these other types of Bitdefender's got a tool out there. There's Hitman Pro Alert. There's a few of them that will actually try to protect you. Okay, now not all are guaranteed to work. Okay, but it's better to have some sort of protection other than none. Okay, now there's also something else that's really critical that you need to do, is back up your data, and don't keep it all on the same computer. So if you back up your data regular and you keep it on a separate external drive or NAS drive or whatever it is, you know, external drives are pretty cheap nowadays, and then unplug it from the computer once you've finished backing up all your stuff. It won't encrypt all those files. Okay, it can only encrypt the files if it's connected to the computer. So that's what you should be doing, and then none of this problem would happen, and you could just wipe your machine and get your data back on there. Okay, everything's safe. So as you can see here, what it's done is encrypted all our files. It's gone into all the locations here and encrypted everything. Okay, the music and everything else has been encrypted. You can see inside the C drive here, you can see folders here saying zero locker, and also there's this folder here that had some stuff in it that's now disappeared. But if you go into the actual account, you can start to see the encryption areas that have been encrypted, user data and all that sort of stuff. Okay, but generally, if you had protection, none of this would have happened. But you can see here the encryption areas actually happening down here. and all in here also. So basically that is it in a nutshell. That's a zero locker, and that's how it infects your system and how it encrypts all your data. So never ever pay for it, guys. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful to you. I'm not suggesting you go out and buy AppGuard. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I'm just saying that these programs are useful if you want to protect yourself. Okay, now there's tons of them out there, like I said, that you can use. There is some free options and also paid options, but also the most critical part is backing up your data regularly on a separate location so these things can't encrypt those files. Okay, anyway, I hope this helps you out. My name is Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. I hope you enjoy these videos. If you do, then hit the like button, guys, and if you didn't enjoy it, then hit the dislike button. It really doesn't matter to me. And also if you want to hit that subscribe button, then you'll be notified when I upload new videos. Have a great weekend, guys, and stay safe, and I'll see you again in the next video. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.